Welcome to the C-Suite at the Open interview series. I am Omar Kathagi, a manager of corporate access at the exchange, and joining me today is Jordan Gnat, the CEO of Playmaker, a company that recently started trading on the TSX Venture under the symbol PMKR. Jordan, thank you for joining me today.
Omar, thanks very much for having me, and really excited to be here.
So Jordan, to start off, tell us who Playmaker Capital is.
So Playmaker is a digital sports media company that lives at the intersection of sports, betting, media, and technology. What we're really all about is fan monetization. And what we're doing is we are rolling up digital sports media assets and technology to create an ecosystem of highly engaged sports fans that we're going to monetize with sports betting companies, leagues, teams, and Fortune 500 advertisers.
So Jordan, you are a newly formed business that has been operating for about 6 months or so. Why did you decide to go public now?
So when we started Playmaker back in December and January, our ambition was to do several acquisitions in the private side and then ultimately go public by the end of 2021. The reality is we were just fortunate. We had fortunate deal flow. We had conversations with potential acquisition targets, and they believed in our story. And what they really wanted was to join the Playmaker family. And when we talked to them and we heard what it is that they wanted, and ultimately how they wanted to as much have us acquire them, but in the same time for them to become partners in our journey. And as a result, we needed to have the currency that was going to give them that. Having 3 or 4 companies all with different shareholders in a private is very difficult. It's hard to find an entrepreneur who's willing to trade illiquid capital that they own 100% of for illiquid capital that they don't own 100% of. So ultimately, we found that going in the public markets was really the right time for us. The TSXV and the TSX in general was the right exchange for us to consider. And the reason is that it's internationally recognized. We're doing business all around the world. Primarily, our operations today are headquartered in the US, and we service the Latin American market. People know who the TSX is. They know who Toronto is. And that just gave us a lot of credibility as we went down our fundraising discussions, but also as we went into discussions with potential target companies and ultimately football sites, our first acquisition. It was one of the key drivers for them that made them join our family so quickly.
Excellent points. So now when you're having discussions with potential investors, what do you like to focus on to showcase that Playmaker is an attractive investment opportunity?
In the Americas, we're just at the front end of the regulation of this industry. Really what you see is PASPA in the US being repealed in 2018. You just saw in Canada, Bill C-218 pass here in June and receive royal assent just a week ago. But it's also in Latin America, in Brazil and Argentina and Mexico. Governments are regulating this marketplace. And we decided I've been in the gaming industry for the past 18 years, we decided that this was the place that we wanted to play. And if an investor is looking to play in the emerging sports betting market, we are one of the places to do that. What Playmaker does is we supply the lifeblood of this industry, and that's fans. We are very focused on aggregating highly engaged sports fans communities and delivering them to sports betting companies and to advertisers. And ultimately, it is at this early stage in the evolution of this market, as the sports betting market continues to grow, that the fans become incredibly important. We have a balanced growth strategy, and our growth strategy is really going to be looking at both opportunistic opportunities but also a very disciplined approach. So we are going to deploy our capital in a very aggressive way to roll up, but with a very clear acquisition criteria, which is prioritizing profits and top-tiered management over growth for the sake of growth. We are very focused on businesses that are profitable today or have a clear path to profitability, and a management team that has great experience and a proven track record of growing their business year in and year out. Most importantly, we're a highly motivated and passionate executive team. We love sports. Let's just start with the basics. To work with our company, the table stakes is you got to be a sports fan. And as sports fans ourselves, we understand what our fans would love because we are our own fans. So if you believe in the sports betting is a growing industry. We are in the immediately profitable part of that industry and the highly scalable part of that industry. We provide the gas for the sports betting engine. As I said earlier, fans are really the key, and what we do is we deliver those fans. If you think about an analogy to a gold mine, really what we're the picks and shovels to mine the gold.
That's a great analogy, Jordan. So to touch on your roll-up strategy, can you maybe walk us through your growth plans for Playmaker, and how do you plan on remaining competitive in that space?
Sure. Thanks, Omar. I think for us, there's three primary growth levers. The first one is acquisitions. We're a roll-up strategy, and our roll-up strategy allows us to buy revenue and EBITDA generating businesses and plug them into our ecosystem. There are three types of acquisitions we look at. Tuck-unders, ones that are designed to enhance an existing platform business like that we have. An example of that is our recent acquisition of Fanatico Sport Football. The second are platform businesses like football sites that give us a platform in a particular market and with a particular demographic. In the case of football sites, the US Hispanic market, as well as the Latin American market. And the third would be transformative. These would be acquisitions that would likely be 50 million plus, that would really take the company into a new direction. The truth is, if a whale brushes up against our boat, we're more than happy to drop a line and take a shot at it. The second would be organic. And every company that we acquire, as I mentioned earlier, is profitable or has a clear path to profitability. But these are teams that are truly strong and have a track record for growth. Our job is to be an enabler and accelerator of that growth by joining the Playmaker family. And how do we do that is really our third growth driver, and that's synergies. It's not about cost savings, it's about cross-pollinating. It's being laser focused on identifying the competencies of each one of the businesses that are in our family and making sure that each one of them share with each other the strengths that they have and collaborate to allow each one of the platforms to absolutely maximize their opportunity. How are we competitive? Our competitiveness really lies in our ability to create proprietary deal flow and execute on these growth levers, particularly identifying the core competencies and developing systems to capitalize on these core competencies for all the brands that we have. Our team's experience is incredibly diverse, but we all speak in one voice. One of our core values is that we are many brands, but one team. Our focus is on a decentralization at the points where local content and knowledge is really key, and we centralize where efficiency drives shareholder value.
Amazing. Jordan, thank you so much for your time today. From everyone here at the Exchange, we wish you all the best. And I personally, as a big sports fan, I look forward to your success in our markets.
Well, thank you very much, Omar. Thank you and the team, and thank you to the TMX for its continued support, both in the journey to go public and just the ongoing resources that you're able to provide us. They're incredibly helpful.